Hey everybody, this video here is a garden update. I've been looking forward to doing this. I just got a new box garden, container garden. It was my buddy's. He's built a skating box for his kid to grind on with a skateboard, and the kid never really used it. So I kind of got a hold of it and rigged it up and turned it upside down, put some dirt in it, and got some stuff growing in it. And looking forward to showing you what I all planted in there and how big everything's going. And everything's looking great, so you guys enjoy. I'm going to start out with all my seedlings and sprouts that I got going right now, and planted some more mung beans. These are really great in salads. I've actually got some more turnips growing in here. My wife planted a bunch of seeds and salad seeds in here. I don't know what kind of salad that is, but they're doing pretty good. There's some Syrian kale, mustard greens, two different kinds of basil. There's cinnamon basil, and there's also Thailand lime basil, and then a couple different kinds of lettuce mixed in there. Same thing, lettuce, some quinoa, some amaranth hiding back there, and there's the sweet pepper. And there's actually two plants here growing. And I already harvested a bunch of sweet peppers off there. I got about 3 of them off there already, and there's a whole bunch more growing in here. And I noticed that just since I made the last video, a couple leaves turned yellow on it. I don't know why that is. Maybe you guys can let me know. But I mean, everything else looks really good, real green, real healthy. And there's some of the flowers on there. Now here's the cucumber. Look at that. It started hanging over the edge, and I actually had to spread it out and pull it back in. And I actually had to move the pepper. The pepper was closer, but it started wrapping completely around it. And there's I've counted maybe a couple dozen cucumbers growing on there. I'll show you up close. Now, a couple of the leaves, some of the first leaves that are bigger leaves, actually, they got a couple brown spots on there. Everything else looks pretty good. I don't know if anybody else has any ideas about that, if that's anything to worry about. I mean, if that's kind of the signs of blight, or if I'm just kind of missing some nutrients in there, if I need to just put some molasses mixed with water in there, or some honey with some water, or some kind of sugar to add some nutrients, some natural nutrients to it. Wild strawberries are actually growing up really good, going right up out of the container. Alright, now here's my plant with the cherry tree growing in it. And there's some quinoa growing right up here. Some amaranth. Now, this tree was actually grafted. It's a cherry tree, and it's Montmorency on top and some type of wild cherry on the bottom. They do that because, I don't know, they think it grows better, but I think it's just basically for the greed of the orchards or the people selling the seedlings and everything like that, rather than the person growing it. Must be easier or something. But the Montmorency grew back, and that's these big old leaves, and these little leaves right over here are from a totally different species of cherry tree. Now the strawberry spinach isn't doing too good. There's a couple of these smaller ones that I don't know, they look like they could be doing better, but I got a nice bigger one right over here, and there's another nice bigger one right back there in the back corner. Now I noticed that the ones that are in the darker areas where it doesn't get as much sun, they're actually doing better, and that makes sense. The ones that get a lot of the sun, they're not really a summer crop, they're more of a winter crop. And here's some of the quinoa growing. 2 more little quinoa plants. Here's the amaranth, and this is getting real big and full. And the red garnet's not really doing too good. maybe that's just a species kind. Well, I mean, I know that the red color, I mean, the sun's really bad down here in South Carolina, and the red, obviously, it brings in more heat than a green plant, you know, with the sunshine. So it must be hotter. Maybe that's more of a cooler weather type of amaranth than the green kind, because the green kind's doing great. And there's some little turnip seeds growing in there, kind of as ground cover. Kind of see them in here. There's actually a little pine tree that made its way in there somehow. And I don't know, my wife kind of likes it. She saw it, she got excited. I don't know. I guess I'll just leave it in there. So, the amaranth. And right next to that, we got the big old blueberry bush. And I seen it. There was actually a bird sitting up here. I was walking by and I seen like a mockingbird actually sitting right up here on the edge. Underneath all the blueberries that I got growing, there is a strawberry plant. And these guys have been putting out strawberries all summer so far now. Last couple months they've got, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them. There's some over here too. Yeah. And I noticed there was a bunch of bugs that I actually started seeing on the leaves and on the flowers, so I moved one of the onion plants over there next to it, and there's not really a lot of bugs on it anymore. Maybe they just left, I don't know, but there's a blueberry right there. Here's the other two pots that we got going on, and these are my raspberries, and these guys are growing up here really good. Amaranth isn't doing as good as I want it to. I mean, they're actually flowering. These ones are flowering, the other ones aren't really flowering. All you plant geeks out here like me, I'm gonna bust out the magnifying glass and let you see what the flowers actually look like on here, if you can see that. And there's actually some flowers over here on the red plant too. And here's the corn bucket. Now, I learned a couple things. Next year, I'm not even going to plant the corn in a milk jug. I'm just going to direct seed it right in the pot, just like I did everything else. I mean, the sweet peas are. I mean, these are growing up really big. I really don't see the onions or the garlic really growing too much in there, but the corn just really now started to kind of kick back. I mean, there's a lot of stress, I think, put on the plant when I transplanted it and had to cut the roots in half, and it had to start all over again. But I mean, the turnips in here, these are thick. I planted a whole bunch of turnips in here after the last video I did. I mean, these are making a great ground cover. I like coming out here in the morning and just actually grabbing a couple of these and eating them. There's the dill. Dill's doing better. There's some nice dill over here actually. This is where most of the sun comes in. The dill's getting pretty tall now too, kind of competing with the peas. And the peas are just, I need to start maybe training them over here on the corn. Maybe there we go. Now what I'm actually planning on doing is after this season's over, I'm going to basically take everything that I want from this stuff and then recycle it back in as mulch. But before I do that, I'm going to do what Masanobu Fukuoka, what he does is he actually plants the seeds, or what he did do was he'd plant the seeds before he'd harvest, to give them a little bit of a head start and protect the plants while they're sprouting. So I'm actually going to spread all the seeds out, harvest the plants maybe a couple days later, and then put all the plants back in as a vegetated mulch to kind of help build the soil back in, and whatever these plants took out, I want to put them back in without having to add chemical fertilizer. So, alright, now working our way this way. I've got a bunch of onions down there. I harvested half of them. Those are the red onions. I transplanted some broccoli in here, and these guys are actually filling out here pretty good. And here's some more onions, and I actually have a flower on this one. And there's the lamb's quarters. Now I also got a tree in here. Actually, there's some strawberries growing. They actually they died and then they came back right away. I got a pear tree right here that I've been watering the heck out of. I haven't transplanted it yet. I was planning on doing something with it, and I don't know, it's not really doing too good. It's sad. I'm thinking about just taking it, digging a hole and putting it out in the woods somewhere. Set it free, you know. But here's the big garden. Now this thing here is probably about, I don't know, 5.5 feet, 1.5 feet wide. And I used a bunch of dead grass as mulch. And I harvested that stuff out right across the street. And you can see the other video I did on that. And I planted lettuce in here. There's carrots, basil, romaine lettuce, more basil. There's onions in here. Here's some wild clover. There's some broccoli growing in here. There's a couple little things of cabbage. I know they get pretty big, so I didn't want to plant too much. Here's some more basil. And here's some broccoli down here coming up. And some more carrots. Basically, it's a big lettuce bed, big leafy bed, a couple carrots here and there, some more onions. And back in the corner, I put some more of that wild clover I harvested out there. And I just basically spread the grass apart. I got it real wet first and spread it apart. And just planted the little seedlings right in the ground, right in there, through there. And watered it real good right afterwards. And I mean, I did this just yesterday or the day before that, and they're already coming up real good. I was wondering about some of them. A lot of the grass was kind of laying on top. It was kind of thick, so a lot of people are going to say, hey, there's a lot of stuff growing in here, but I really don't have a lot of space, so I kind of want to use the best of it. You know, if people use square foot gardening, I don't know, maybe this is like square inch gardening. But eventually I'm going to have to harvest some of this stuff and thin it out a little bit before it gets too thick.